Hello everyone, welcome to the SQRT channel. In this video I'm going to talk about 9 problems from 2017 AMC 10A problems. AMC is American Mathematics Competitions and is one of the first to select the US team for Mathematical Olympiad. Let's see those problems and how deep dive into them now. Problem number 1. What is the value of this expression that you are seeing here? Take your time and I will talk about the solution in a moment. To solve this problem, there are multiple ways that you can approach this problem, but I'm going to start with the basic one. Let's start with what we have for the inner parentheses. I have 2 plus 1 in brown here. We're going to have 3. Then I need to multiply that by 2 and then add 1. So let's start with the sequence. A0 is going to be what I have for the brown one. A0 is 3, or I can write it as 4 minus 1 or 2 to the power of 2 minus 1. Then I have A1, which is basically 2 times A0 plus 1. If you replace A0 with 2 to the power of 2 minus 1, you are going to end up with A1 equals to 2 to the power of 3 minus 2 plus 1, or finally 2 to the power of 3 minus 1. If you continue, you will see that A2 is going to be 2 to the power of 4 minus 1. So let's start again. When we have just 1, 2, we have 2 to the power of 2 minus 1. When we have 2 2's, we're going to have 2 to the power of 3 minus 1. For 3 2's, we will have 2 to the power of 4 minus 1. Now, if you count, you will see that in total, I have 6 number of 2's in the whole expression. So, at the end, the answer is going to be 2 to the power of 7 minus 1, which is 127, and that's the answer that we were looking for. For problem number 2, we have Pablo buys popsicles for his friends. The store sells single popsicles for $1 each, 3 popsicles in a box for $2 each, and then 5 popsicle boxes for $3 each. What is the greatest number of popsicles Pablo can buy with just $8? Think about this problem, and I'm going to talk about the solution in a moment. To solve this problem, I'm going to understand how much is the minimum money that I need to pay to get just one single popsicle. Obviously, if I go with a box of 5 popsicles, I'm going to pay the least. So since I have $8, I'm going to get 2 boxes, which results in 10 popsicles. Now I already paid $6, I have $8. So what I need to do with the rest, which is basically just $2, I'm going to get a popsicle box of 3. So in total I have 5 plus 5 plus 3, which is basically 13, and that's the greatest number of popsicles that Pablo can buy with $8. Now talking about problem number 3. Tamara has 3 rows of 2 6 feet by 2 feet flower beds in her garden. The beds are separated and also surrounded by 1 foot wide walkway, as shown here in this diagram. What is the total area of the walkway in square feet? So the diagram that we have is kind of illustrative. We have 6 flower beds. The distance between flower beds and also the distance from each flower bed to the surrounding is going to be just 1 foot wide, and we also know that the flower bed itself is 2 by 6. We want to find the total area of the walkway. Talk about this problem, we are going to see the solution in a moment. To solve this problem, obviously, we need to find the total area that we have for this garden and then the total area that we have for the flower beds and then subtract these two from each other. So let's start with the garden. The garden is a rectangle, and we know that the length of the garden is going to be 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1. The width of this garden is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus another 1. So in general, for this case, we have 15 times 10 or 150 as the total area of the garden in a square feet. Now talking about the flower beds. Flower beds is 2 by 6, so the area that we have for just a single flower bed is going to be 2 times 6, and then we have 6 of those, so total area is going to be 72 square feet. And finally, the area that we have for walkway is going to be 150 minus 72, which is 78, and that's our answer here. Now problem number 4. Mia is helping her mom pick up 30 toys that are on the floor. Mia's mom manages to put 3 toys into the toy box every 30 seconds, but each time immediately after those 30 seconds have elapsed, Mia takes 2 toys out of the box, and now the question is how much time in minutes will it take Mia and her mom to put all these 30 toys into the box for the first time. So there are some keywords here that you need to notice. Think about this problem. I'm going to talk about the solution in a moment. Here the thing that we need to notice is after each 30 seconds we only have 1 toy in the box, since Mia's mother is going to put 3 inside, and then immediately after Mia is going to take 2 out of the box. Now 27 times 30 seconds is going to be 810 seconds, and after this number of seconds we only have 27 toys inside the box. Now with another 30 seconds we are going to have all 30 toys inside the box, and note that Mia is going to take 2 out of the box immediately after this 810 seconds, but the problem asks for how much time we need for the first time to have all these 30 toys inside the box. Now 810 seconds plus 30 seconds is going to be 840 seconds, which is 14 minutes, and that's our answer here. Now let's focus on problem number 5. We know that sum of 2 non-zero real numbers is 4 times their product, and the problem asks for what is the sum of the reciprocals of these 2 numbers. We have x plus y equals to 4 times xy, and we want to find 1 over x plus 1 over 5. Basically, if you divide both sides by xy, we're going to have 1 over y plus 1 over x equals to 4, and that's our answer. Now let's talk about problem number 6. A teacher promised anyone who got all the multiple choice questions right will get an A on the exam. Now we have 5 choices, and we are going to find which of these necessarily follows logically. Choice number 1. It says if the student did not receive an A, then he got all the questions right. B. If the student did not receive an A, then he got at least 1 question wrong. C. If the student got at least 1 question wrong, then he did not receive an A. D. If the question received an A, then he got all the questions right. And E. If the student received A, then he got at least 1 question right. Think about this problem. You're going to have some interesting insights for some of these choices and some others are going to be just straightforward. We will talk about the solution in a bit. Now let's talk about the solutions. I'm going to talk about each choice and talk about if it's true or not. Let's start with A. The student did not receive A, and it says the student is going to have all questions wrong. I think it's clear that it's not true. All we know is if the student gets all the questions right, he will get A. But it doesn't say that if the student didn't receive A, what was the condition. So let's move to B. It says if the student did not receive A, then he got at least one multiple choice questions wrong. That's correct. Number C, or choice number C. The student got at least one question wrong. Then he did not receive an A. That's not true. The only thing that the teacher says is if you get all right, you will get A. It doesn't say that if you have some issues here and there, what you're going to get. So C is not correct. D is saying that if the student received A, he got all the multiple choice questions right. Again, it says if you answer everything correctly, you will get A. It doesn't say that if you get A, what did you do? How did you do that in the exam? Now let's talk about E. It says if the student received A, he got at least one of the questions right. Obviously this is not true too. So altogether, B is the only correct answer here. For problem number 7, we have Jerry and Sylvia wanted to go from the southwest corner of a school field to the northeast corner. Jerry walked first to the east and then to the north to reach the goal, but Sylvia headed northeast and reached the goal walking in a straight line. Which of the following is the closest to how much shorter Sylvia's trip was compared to Jerry's trip? Think about it and we will see the answer in a bit. Let's assume that we have one square with side A. Jerry is going to take A plus A, or 2A here, to reach the goal. And Sylvia is going to use the diagonal, which is basically a square root of 2 times A. Now, to see how much shorter Sylvia's trip was compared to Jerry's trip, we need to find what's the answer for 2 minus radical 2 over 2, which is about 30%, and the choice that we have here for A is the correct one. Problem number 8. We have a gathering of 30 people. 20 people in this gathering know each other and 10 of them do not know each other. So people who know each other hug and people who do not know each other shake hands. The problem asks for how many handshakes occur. Let's see how we are going to solve it now. So we have two groups, 20 people in one and 10 people in the other. We are interested in handshakes. All people in the group that we have, for 10 of them, they are going to shake hands with all people that we have in the other group. In total, we have 20 times 10 or 200. Now, people who do not know each other are going to shake hands. We talked about handshaking between two groups, but we didn't talk about handshakings inside each group. We need to focus on the group that they do not know each other, which is basically the group with 10 people. We have 10 people, we need to select 2 of them and they can handshake. Now, in a group of 10 people, we're going to select 2 of them. So basically, the number of cases that we have is choosing 2 from 10, or 10 choose 2, which is basically 45. So in total we have 200 plus 45, or 245 number of cases, and that's our answer here. Now let's focus on problem number 9. Here, Minnie rides a flat road at 20 km per hour. If it's a downhill, Minnie rides at 30 km per hour, and for uphill, it's going to be 5 km per hour. On the other hand, Penny rides on a flat road at 30 km, downhill at 40 km, and uphill at 30 km per hour. Now, Minnie goes from town A to B, 10 km uphill, then from B to C, 15 km downhill, and then back to town A, 20 km flat. On the other hand, Penny goes the other way around, using the same road. Now, the question asks how many more minutes does it take Minnie to complete the 40 km ride than it takes Penny. Let's talk about the solution now. But first, make sure that you try to understand and solve the problem yourself. I'm going to write down everything that we know to summarize the problem first. As you can see, we have a triangle ABC, and in this triangle, AB is 10 km, BC is 15, and AC is 20 kilometers. We also have the speed of Minnie and Penny on flat downhill and uphill roads. Now let's focus on Penny. Penny is going to use a CBA as the road. So basically going from A to B, B to C, and C to A. Starting from AB, it's uphill, and we know that for Minnie it's going to be 5 km per hour. Here is 10 km, so it's going to take 2 hours for Minnie to go from A to B. And then we have BC equals to 15 kilometers. It's downhill, and the speed is going to be 30 km per hour, so it's going to take half an hour. And then we have AC here, 20 km, and we know that it's going to take 1 hour for Minnie to go from C to A. So overall, it's going to take 3 hours and 30 minutes to go from A to B, B to C, and C to A, and that's the total time for Minnie. Now let's focus on Penny. Penny is going to take from A to C and then B to A. A to C is 20 kilometers, and we know that it's flat, but we know that the speed for Penny is going to be 30 kilometers, so it's going to take 2 hours divided by 3, which is going to be some partial hour. So 2 over 3 hours. And then we have from C to B, which is basically 15 kilometers, it's uphill, so it's going to take 1.5 hours. And then from B to A, it's going to take 40 kilometers per hour. It's 10 kilometers, so it's going to take 1 over 4 hours. So if you add them together, you're going to end up with 2 hours and 25 minutes for Penny to take the road that the question asks. Now we have 3 hours 30 minutes for Minnie and 2 hours 25 minutes for Penny. If you subtract them, you're going to have 1 hour and 5 minutes or 65 minutes, and that's the final answer. Thanks for watching the video. In this video we talked about 9 problems from 2017 American Mathematics competitions. Let me know how you did that, and also please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.